Right, eighth graders, you've made it to the last section of the chapter. All right, um, which for me means I've made it to the last video for the chapter. Here we're going to be talking about using those lines of best fit or those trend lines that we talked about in the last video. So, um, there we go. So the first example, actually, if you notice on your uh, sheets, goes for a couple, but that's just because uh, for the sake of space. Um, we're going to go through all the steps on this first one. Now, a lot of the tables and the situations, and actually real world situations, especially when you're working with years, um, talk about years, and then so here we're talking about, all I'm trying to show you in this slide is that we can adjust our representation of the data so that our numbers are easier to work with. So instead of using the year 2000, 2001, 2003, 2004, that's when we talk about situations being that um, starting in the year 2000, or starting in the year 1997, or whatever it may be. And so then, like, if you look at this table, our y values are all the same, but we go from using the year 2000 to saying that 2000 is equal to 0, and 2001 is 1, 2003 is 3, because 2003 is 3 years from 2000. So that's something to keep in mind, because the year number is coming from how many years after what we're calling year 0. So if we were to call year 0 1998, then 2003 is not going to be 3. It's actually going to be 5, because 2003 is 5 years after 1998. So those are just things um, to think about, things that this would happen with more often. Um, we probably would not be going all the way back to 2000. We'd probably be taking data from 2010. But this was the data they had when we got the books. So we're working with data from 2000 to 2010. But that's what I wanted to point out on this slide, especially with years or with times, right? Like we were working with situations where we said temps starting at 8 a.m. So then 8 o'clock in the morning would become time 0 or hour 0. And then any hour after that will just be counted. Like 9 o'clock would be 1, because it's 1 hour after 8 o'clock in the morning. So just stuff like that. So continuing on, and I said so, I don't know how many times I lost track, but moving on. So our scatter plot shows worldwide movie ticket revenues in billions of dollars for our top grossing movies for several years. This is the same table from that last page. I just took the one with the 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, and 10. The scatter plot suggests a linear association because we're moving. I would also not only linear, but it's suggesting a positive association, right? Because as the years increase, our revenues increase. So we want to find a trend line to represent the data. I'm going to draw that, but I'm not going to struggle through that with you on the video. So I will be right back. So I've drew the best line that I can draw on the sketch pad. Like I did before, kind of gave myself some points to work with. Move back to my ink pen. And so I'm going to take those points and I'm going to estimate. That's the thing with scatter plots. A lot of it is just estimating. So I'm going to estimate these 2 points if it'll write for me. So I've got 2 as my x value, and I'm going to estimate that at, this is 8, so this would be, I would say, about 8.6, because it's above 8.5. So we're going to go with 8.6. And then my other point, I'm sitting here at 9. So I'm going to do 9, comma, if this is 10, we're below 10.5. So I'm going to do 9, comma, 10.4 is what I'm going to work with. All right, So again, those are estimations. The thing with lines of best fit is technically we can each get a slightly different answer. That's just all in the way that we estimate. So I'm going to, in order to find that equation of a trend line, I first got to find my slope. So 10.4 minus 8.6 over 9 minus 2. So 10.4 minus 8.6 gives us 1.8 over 9 minus 2 is 7, which will give us approximately, and when we're working with scatter plots, it's okay to use decimals because we're not like trying to count the slope in order to graph. Fractions make it easier to graph equations because we can count our boxes. Whereas when we're working with real world situations, we tend to use decimals. 1.8 divided by 7 gives us a 0.2 something, so I'm going to just approximate it to 0.2. I'm going to truncate it at that first decimal. Truncate just means not rounding, just keeping it at that. I'm going to use my 2 comma 8.6 as my point, so we're going to do 8.6 equals 0.2 times 2 plus b. So I end up with 8.6 equals 0.4 plus b. I'm going to subtract 0.4 and then 8.6 minus 0.4 is 8.2. So we've got a b value of 8.2, an m of 0.2. So we're going to have y equals 0.2x plus 8.2. That is going to be our line, our equation for the trend line. Okay, after that, we have example one's continued. So this, here's that trend line. Oh, I'm like, I lost it. This is that trend line equation that we found before. About how much would you expect a top grossing movie for 2002 to make in total revenue? So we're going to use that equation and then the year that we're going with. So 2002 is 2 years after 2000. And so I'm going to plug in 2 for x. I'm going to say that that means that x equals 2. So y equals 0.2 times 2 plus 8 point. I don't know why I'm trying to write 6 because we obviously want. No, come back. No. All right, let me pause and right now that my maybe it'll start writing again. We'll see. So this we're not wanting 6. We are wanting, there we go, 8.2. So then I would end up with y equals 0.4 plus 8.2. So then y would equal 8.6. So we would expect approximately $8.6 billion. So that's our approximation. All right, so in what year would you expect the total revenue for the top grossing movie to be? About 9.5 billion. Well, money is our y, so I'm going to plug 9.5 in for y equals 0.2x plus 8.2. So I'm going to subtract 8.2 from 9.5 because this is solving equations. This is why we had to put chapter 2 in before we came back to this graphing stuff, because we needed to talk about solving equations. And so when I do that subtraction, I end up with 1.3. So 1.3 equals 0.2x. Divide by 0.2 to get x by itself. And 1.3 divided by 0.2 is that x is 6.5. So then we're going to approximate it. That would round up to 7 years. And so we would expect 9.5 billion in the year 2007. 2007 would be the year that we're expecting. Now, the next question asks, well, how does our answer compare to the data collected. So when we look at year 7 here, they got 9.7. So if we're comparing the actual data was 9.7 billion. So it's not exact. But it is reasonable. So our $9.5 billion is a reasonable estimation for the year 2007. All right. I do have one more example, but we are getting long on this video, so that'll be a second video. See you there, 8th graders.